Mabuhay po mga kamataral! Welcome po sa bagong edisyon ng aking video lesson sa araw na ito. Tara, halina at matuto! Ngayon naman ay tatalakayin natin kung paano malalaman ng isang word problem ang may kaugnayan sa permutation o combination. Handa na ba kayo? Our objectives for today are: number 1, we will differentiate permutation from combination. Number 2, we will analyze different situations involving permutation or combination. And number 3, we will apply knowledge when to use permutation or combination in solving problems. So let us consider this situation. Your advisor has 8 eligible students in your class to be assigned as your class officers. Find out how many different selections of 5 students to fill up the positions. How many ways can he appoint as president, vice president, secretary, treasurer, and auditor if there are 8 students that can be considered? Kung babalikan natin ang mga definitions ng permutation and combination, sinasabing ang permutation is a selection of elements with regards to order. So, mahalaga sa permutation ang order of selection. Halimbawa, mayroon tayong 3 letters kung saan kukuha lang tayo ng 2. Ang mga possible arrangement natin ay AB, BA, AC, CA, BC, and CB. Dito makikita natin na mayroon tayong 6 different possible arrangements. While combination is a selection of elements regardless of order. Using the same 3 letters at magseselect tayo ng 2, and since hindi naman mahalaga ang order of selections, masasabi natin na si AB at BA ay the same selection. Likewise, AC and CA ay pareho lang din. Ganun din ang BC at CB. Kaya makikita natin na we have only 3 ways to select 2 letters from the given letters. Now let us go back to our previous problem. Una, sagutin natin yung tanong na find out how many different selections of 5 students to fill up the positions. Halimbawa, pinili ni advisor sina Ann, Dave, Bea, Earl, at Claire. This selection is the same selection as Dave, Ann, Earl, Claire, and Bea. This selection is also the same as Claire, Ann, Bea, Dave, and Earl. Kahit sino pa ang mauna sa mga piniling ito, still hindi nagbabago kung sino-sino ang pinili. At ito ay isang halimbawa ng tinatawag nating combination. Let us now solve the number of possible selections using this formula. N select R is equal to n factorial divided by the quantity of n minus r factorial times r factorial. At dahil meron tayong 8 eligible students, our n is equal to 8. At dahil pipili lang tayo ng 5 students para sa class officer, our r is equal to 5. So therefore, we have 8 select 5. and that is equal to 8 factorial divided by the quantity of 8 minus 5 factorial times 5 factorial, and is equal to 8 factorial divided by 3 factorial times 5 factorial. To simplify, we have 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 factorial divided by 3 times 2 times 1 times 5 factorial. So dito, we can now divide 5 factorial by 5 factorial, and that is equal to 1. Also, we can divide 6 by 3 times 2. And then, let us find the product of the remaining numbers. So we have 8 times 7, and that is equal to 56. So, ibig sabihin, meron tayong 56 ways, no, or 56 different selections to select 5 students out of 8 eligible students. Now, let us answer the second question. How many ways can he appoint as president, vice president, secretary, treasurer, and auditor if there are 8 students that can be considered? Sa tanong na ito, mag-a-appoint si advisor ng 5 posisyon: president, vice president, secretary, treasurer, and auditor. Assuming ito ang ginawang appointment ni advisor, si Claire as president, Dave as the vice president, Ann as the secretary, Bea as the treasurer, and Earl as the auditor. Itong set of officers ay masasabi nating iba kapag naging ganito ang magiging appointment ni advisor. Si Dave as the president, Bea as the vice president, Earl as the secretary, Claire as the treasurer, and Ann as the auditor. Masasabing magkaiba ang set of selection na ito dahil magkaibang bata ang nag-occupy ng isang specific position. At dahil naging mahalaga ang order of selection dito, ito ay isang halimbawa ng permutation. To answer the problem, let us now use the formula for permutation, and that is equal to n permute r, which is equal to n factorial divided by the quantity of n minus r factorial. Dahil ang ating eligible students ay 8, our n is equal to 8, and our r is equal to 5. So we have 8 permute 5. By substitution, we have 8 factorial divided by 8 minus 5 factorial, and that is equal to 8 factorial divided by 3 factorial. To simplify, 8 factorial is equal to 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 factorial, and divided by 3 factorial. Now, let us divide 3 factorial by 3 factorial, and that is equal to 1. Next, let us find the product of the remaining numbers: 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 4, and that is equal to 6,720. Therefore, the advisor has 6,720 ways to appoint. This time, let us analyze each situation if it is asking for a combination or a permutation. And then, let us find the number of possibilities. Let us have the first one. Mayor Isko Moreno plans to select 3 barangay chairmen from 8 outstanding barangays in Manila for their efforts to make their community a zero-COVID area. In how many ways can the 3 chairmen be awarded as the first, second, and third best barangay in Manila? Sa palagay ninyo, ito ba ay combination or a permutation? Kung ang tingin ninyo, ito ay isang problem about permutation, then you are correct. To solve this problem, we have n is equal to 8 and r is equal to 3. Using the formula n permute r equals n factorial divided by the quantity of n minus r factorial, then we have 8 permute 3, and that is equal to 8 factorial divided by the quantity of 8 minus 3 factorial, which is also equal to 8 factorial divided by 5 factorial. To simplify this, we have 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 factorial divided by 5 factorial. And then, now let us divide 5 factorial by 5 factorial. So that is equal to 1. And then, let us now find the product of 8 times 7 times 6. And that is equal to 336. Makikita natin dito na si Mayor Isko Moreno ay merong 336 ways para makapamili ng 3 best barangay chairman. Now, let us have this problem. In how many ways can you select a committee of 7 nurses out of 10 nurses to be assigned as monitoring team for the COVID cases? If you think the problem is all about combination, you are absolutely correct. Dahil hindi mahalaga yung order of selection kapag pipili tayo ng 7 nurses para bumuo ng isang committee. So in this problem, our n is equal to 10 and our r is equal to 7. Using the formula n select r equals n factorial divided by the quantity of n minus r factorial times r factorial, we have 10 select 7 equals 10 factorial divided by the quantity of 10 minus 7 factorial times 7 factorial, which is equal to 10 factorial divided by 3 factorial times 7 factorial. To simplify this, we have 10 times 9 times 8 times 7 factorial divided by 3 times 2 times 1 times 7 factorial. Next, let us now divide 7 factorial by 7 factorial, and that is equal to 1. Also, we can divide 9 by 3, and that is equal to 3. And also, we can divide 8 by 2, and that is equal to 4. Next, let us find the product of 10 times 3 times 4. And that is equal to 120. Therefore, meron tayong 120 ways para makapamili ng 7 nurses para bumuo ng isang committee. Let us now consider this next problem. The table shows the number of outstanding scientists from 2 laboratories. The Department of Health Secretary plans to select 4 of them to join a COVID-19 vaccine testing team. Find the number of selection according to each of the following conditions, choosing 4 scientists at random. Kung titingnan natin yung ating table, meron tayong Laboratory A and Laboratory B. From Laboratory A, there are 6 males and 5 females. And from Laboratory B, we have 4 males and 6 females. And if you think the problem is all about combination, You are correct. At dahil at random ang pagpili ng apat na scientist sa problem na ito, any from the number of males and females from the two laboratories ang pwedeng makasama sa selection. So therefore, ang total number of N natin dito ay 6 plus 5 plus 4 plus 6. And that is equal to 21. At dahil apat lang ang mapipiling scientist, our R is equal to 4. Using the formula of combination, by substitution, we have 21 select 4 equals 21 factorial divided by the quantity of 21 minus 4 factorial times 4 factorial, which is also equal to 21 factorial divided by 17 factorial times 4 factorial. To simplify, 21 factorial is equal to 21 times 20 times 19 times 18 times 17 factorial divided by 17 factorial times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. Now let us divide 17 factorial by 17 factorial, and that is equal to 1. 20 can be divided by 4, and that is equal to 5. 21 can be divided by 3, and that is equal to 7. And 18 can be divided by 2, and that is equal to 9. Next, let us find the product of the remaining numbers. 7 times 5 times 19 times 9. And that is equal to 5,985. So therefore, we have 5,985 ways to select 4 scientists at random. What if the condition is this? Choosing 4 scientists from Lab A. So this is another type of combination problem. Since sa Lab A lang tayo kukuha ng scientist, i-disregard natin yung mga data sa Lab B. Ang total number of scientists natin sa Lab A ay 6 plus 5, and that is equal to 11. Still, our R is equal to 4. So using the formula N select R equals N factorial divided by the quantity of N minus R factorial times R factorial, we have now 11 select 4, and that is equal to 11 factorial times the quantity of 11 minus 4 factorial times 4 factorial. Take note, 11 minus 4 factorial is also equal to 7 factorial. To simplify this, we have now 11 times 10 times 9 times 8 times 7 factorial divided by 7 factorial times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. Next, let us now divide 7 factorial by 7 factorial. Also, we can divide 8 by 4 times 2. Likewise, we can also divide 9 by 3, and that is equal to 3. The next thing to do, let us find the product of 11 times 10 times 3. And our final answer is 330. So therefore, mayroon tayong 330 ways choosing 4 scientists from Lab A. Let us have another condition. Choosing 2 male and 2 female scientists. Obviously, this is another problem about combination. In this condition, i-consider natin yung total number ng male and female scientists. Dahil sa 4 na scientists na pipiliin natin, dapat 2 roon ay male at 2 roon ay female. So, the total number of male scientists natin is equal to 10. And from 10 male scientists, pipili tayo ng 2. the total number of female scientists natin is equal to 11. And from 11 female scientists, pipili rin tayo ng dalawa. For selecting 2 male scientists, we have 10 select 2. And that is equal to 10 factorial divided by the quantity of 10 minus 2 factorial times 2 factorial. In selecting female scientists, we have 11 select 2. And that is equal to 11 factorial divided by 11 minus 2 factorial times 2 factorial. By fundamental principle of counting, we will multiply the number of selection of male and female. To simplify, we have 10 times 9 times 8 factorial divided by 8 factorial times 2 times 1 para sa male selection. So from here, we can now divide 8 factorial by 8 factorial. And also, we can divide 10 by 2. And that is equal to 5. For female selection, we have 11 times 10 times 9 factorial divided by 9 factorial times 2 times 1. Now, let us now divide 9 factorial by 9 factorial. And also, we can divide 10 by 2, that is equal to 5. So, therefore, we have 5 times 9 is equal to 45 times 11 times 5 is equal to 55. Then, let us now multiply 45 by 55. So, therefore, the total number of combination is equal to 2,475. Therefore, we have 2,475 ways to choose 2 male and 2 female. Next problem. There are 10 basketball teams to join this 2021 PBA Conference Cup. How many possible groups are there if 4 teams are to enter the semi-final round? If you think this problem is about combination, again, you are correct. In this problem, dahil meron tayong 10 basketball teams na sumali, our N is equal to 10. At dahil 4 lang ang papasok sa semifinal round, our R is equal to 4. So using the formula N select R equals N factorial divided by the quantity of N minus R factorial, we have 10 select 4. And that is equal to 10 factorial divided by the quantity of 10 minus 4 factorial times 4 factorial, which is also equal to 10 factorial divided by 6 factorial times 4 factorial. To simplify, we have 10 times 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 factorial divided by 6 factorial times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. Now, we can now divide 6 factorial by 6 factorial. Also, we can divide 8 by 4 times 2. Likewise, we can divide 9 by 3 and that is equal to 3. The next thing to do is find the product of the remaining numbers. Those are 10 times 3 times 7. And that is equal to 210. Therefore, there are 210 possible groups. Okay, what if the problem is how many possible rankings are there for the top 4 teams among the 10 teams? Ayan. Since ranking ang pinag-uusapan dito, mahalaga rito kung sino team ang magiging first, second, third, and fourth. And therefore, This problem is all about permutation. In this problem, still our n is equal to 10 and our r is equal to 4. Using the formula n permute r equals n factorial divided by the quantity of n minus r factorial, we have 10 permute 4, which is equal to 10 factorial divided by 10 minus 4 factorial, which is also equal to 10 factorial divided by 6 factorial. To simplify, we have 10 times 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 factorial divided by 6 factorial. Let us now divide 6 factorial by 6 factorial. And then, let us now find the product of the remaining numbers. 10 times 9 times 8 times 7. Our answer is 5,040. Therefore, we have 5,040 possible rankings among the 10 teams. Ayan, at dito po nagtatapos ang ating talakayan sa araw na ito. At sana ay may natutunan ulit kayo sa ating topic ngayon. Maraming salamat sa panonood at pakikinig. At kung sakaling nagustuhan ninyo ang video lesson natin sa araw na ito, huwag pong kalimutang pindutin ang like and share button natin. And please, subscribe na rin para mas masubaybayan pa ninyo ang mga susunod nating mga math lesson. Muli, ito inyong matalik na guro, Sir Mandy, na laging nagsasabi sa inyong mabuhay kayo, kamataral. Hanggang sa muli!